So I recently took a solo trip to Pondicherry. It all started because I had to drop off my niece in Bangalore. And since Pondicherry was on my travel bucket list, I thought why not? Because it's really close to Bangalore. This was actually my first time traveling alone, and let me tell you, it was actually a very meditative experience. I'm pretty introverted and I don't talk a lot, so it was kind of awkward at first. To be honest, it was awkward the whole time, but also incredibly peaceful. I did have fun though. It was a different kind of fun, one that helped me grow a little more confident in myself, I guess. So yeah, here's a video about traveling solo for the first time, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So I landed in Bangalore on the 6th. My cousin's sister lives there, so I asked her to take me out. We ended up having some chat because, well, I love chat. Yep. We also had some coffee, but honestly, it was pretty mid. And that's pretty much all I did on day one. So this is a couple of days later. I was staying at my cousin's place, just rotting inside because I didn't have the will to go out. I'm a friend person. I like having my friends around. So I was too lazy and bored to go out alone. But my friends kept insisting over the phone that I should make the most of the trip. So I looked up some cafes online and found one called the Kene. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I ended up going there. The place was pretty and also very chill, but it was actually packed, which made it a bit awkward since I had my tripod with my phone on and I was filming myself. But hey, I wanted to make the video. Also took a book with me that I'm reading called The Giant Within You, ordered an Americano, and got one of those fancy looking cakes. I spent almost 2 to 3 hours there just reading with my headphones on. And honestly, that made me feel kind of hot, guys. No cap. After a while, I got an Uber and went straight to the mall because I wanted to get some books. It's the thing, guys, I like collecting books as souvenir from places I've visited. I went to Crosswords, went to the children's section because children's book, they're imaginative AF, and I have zero imagination these days, so I thought that would help. But I couldn't find anything that I liked, so I left without getting anything for myself. And then I went to get more coffee because I was hella sleepy. As I sat down there alone, I realized how amazingly boring it is to be not using my phone, and that made me realize like, oh shit, I use a lot of my phone all the time. Well, at least I found these 2 books for Summer and Pinky, and I like leaving notes behind the books so that every time they pick it up or finish reading it, they're reminded of me. Yeah. The next day, I took a night bus to Pondicherry. It took about 6 to 7 hours to get there. The moment I arrived, I got a notification saying my Airbnb was cancelled, but not a biggie. So I hopped in an auto and headed straight to this place I found online that has amazing breakfast. I ordered some food and tried booking another Airbnb, and guess what? That one got cancelled too. Right after I booked it, right after the transaction was made. So that pissed me off. I called the customer service and had a bit of a fight with them, but they couldn't help. Eventually, I found another place online and just decided to go there after finishing my breakfast. And that's basically how my day started. After taking a nice nap, I went out to explore again. It was like 40 degrees outside, guys. I found this park on the way, so I decided to go inside. Sat down, just people watching, and guess what? People were watching me too. I stayed there for a couple hours because it was pretty chill there. I wanted to relax for a while, catch a breath. After a few walks, I reached Rock Beach. I was so excited to see the beach. Some of you know how obsessed I am with beaches. I've been talking about going and seeing the beach for over 2 years now, and just seeing the beach up close after so long was just so fascinating. I wanted to take a dip, but you also know I don't really know how to swim. Plus, you wouldn't believe the crowd. It looked like an ant fest. After being at the beach for a while, I walked around and decided to get some gelato. Then I took a rickshaw to go check out the market. Now that place was another thing. It was crowded, like I couldn't even walk. But I did go check out the fish market, and there were ladies with some cool fishes that I've never seen before. And then I saw this helium balloon that I haven't seen in the longest while. Our dad used to get it for us all the time when we were kids. He would always say, kids are so cheap, it's so easy to make them happy. And yeah, I just had to get one myself. So the next morning, I was aiming for a deserted beach to catch the sunrise. I woke up super early, but let's be honest, I was a little hungover, so I got there a bit late. But I still made it to the beach around 5:30 a.m. and oh my gosh, I was so freaking happy to see the sun, the beach, the water. It was everything I wanted to experience, guys. And then I went to a church. Seriously, a trip to Pondicherry isn't complete without visiting a church. They were actually having a mass when I got there, so I went inside, prayed, and almost nearly cried. After that emotional moment, I went to find breakfast and discovered this adorable place. Something about croissant sandwiches in Pondicherry. Every single one I had was different, but so tasty. After breakfast, the only touristy thing I did was take a boat ride to see the mangrove trees. It was nice, but I totally forgot I have motion sickness, so for almost an hour, I was feeling a bit nauseous. We had a stop point to check out this cool old monument, but it was too hot to really enjoy it. So I stayed there for like 5 minutes and then went back to the boat. At that moment, I plugged in my headphones and started listening to Daniel Caesar's Toronto 2014. Oh my god. Honestly, it is my depression song. So I nearly cried when I was in the boat because I realized how far I've come from that phase of my life.
Everything is not as it seems. If only I could find a pair of glasses.
As I was checking out things to do in Pondicherry, Autoville was at the top of the list. Autoville still operates with a barter system, so if you stay there, you just do some service and basically stay for free. I wish I had known all of that before I went there. I could have planned for a longer trip. Since my trip was so short, I could only visit for a while, and trust me, Autoville was even hotter. It was insanely hot. Had like these museum of history, and to know about the place and its history was just mind-blowing. The meditation center there, that was the thing that I actually wanted to check out up close, but looks like you have to actually book that a day in advance if you want to go and experience it. So since I didn't, I could only see it from a viewpoint. When I made it to the viewpoint, I nearly fainted because of the scorching heat. Honestly, I don't even know how I walked the 1.2 kilometers to get there. Thankfully, the bus picks you up on the way back, guys, though. So yeah, Autoville wasn't the best plan for me that day, but it was still an interesting experience, so yeah. For my last dinner in Pondicherry, I wanted to check out this place that was giving serious Bridgerton vibes. So I did. The food was fine, and since it was my last dinner, I just soaked it all in. They were actually playing the nicest music. It actually sounded like I was in Bridgerton. I had dinner, and then it was time to get ready to leave early the next day for Bangalore. After I got back to Bangalore, I still had a few more days to chill, so my cousin and I decided to play some badminton. I used to play a lot of badminton when I was in school, and this was after a long while. I was touching the racket after I don't even know how many years. It was so much fun and a really good workout, to be honest. My last day in Bangalore, I had a hearty breakfast because I knew it was going to be a long day. I wanted to visit everything and anything I could. A friend introduced me to this art gallery and I was amazed. I've been to an art gallery before, but just one in my entire life, and this one was probably the biggest and most beautiful one I've been to. I don't really understand art, but then again, I don't understand humans either. I don't even understand myself sometimes, but I still like humans and I still like me. So I think that's why I like art too. I don't understand these three things, but I think I crave them the most in my life. So having the chance to see art from different people was a great experience. The descriptions really said it all. To be honest, it only made sense after I read the descriptions. Art kind of reminds me of people, you know? Until you go and talk to them and know what's really going on inside their brains, you can never figure another human out. So sometimes I wish people had descriptions too, so I could just read it, you know? And be like, oh, so that's your story. That'd be fun. But yeah, that's basically how I ended my trip, guys.